Hey, it's Coach Josh here, and I'm going to give you a quick and dirty kettlebell workout that you can do at your home or in a makeshift gym environment that we're dealing with at this day and age. Now, you probably don't have an entire kettlebell rack full of different weights that you can use. You might have one kettlebell, maybe two kettlebells, and the weight may or may not be as much as you want. So the way that I work in this kind of a situation is I'll take two exercises. I'm going to choose the kettlebell swing, which is this traditional hinge pattern, firing out, hard style swing to build the glutes, the hamstrings, the abs, the lats, and the back. And then I'm going to pick an overhead press, which is going to build shoulders, arms, and triceps, things like that. So I'm going to do those two exercises together, and I'm going to superset them. And I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. So you'll start out, you hit your timer, you'll get set up, clock's ticking, fire through, doing a beautiful swing, keeping that kettlebell going. You're done with your 10, 15 swings, whatever, depending on the size of your kettlebell. If you have a heavy kettlebell, you might only do 5. Then I'm gonna go to that overhead press. If I have a light kettlebell, I'll do single arm, corkscrewing, punching up. I'll do 5 on one side, and then I'm gonna match it with the other. And if you're doing single arm variations, you're always gonna start with the off hand, so start with your weaker hand. So I'm pressing overhead, getting that bicep up to the air, keeping the rib cage down. Now let's say you have a heavy kettlebell, so it's good for the swing or the kettlebell deadlift, but it's not good for the overhead press. Grab 2, so use 2 hands, press it up, and again, maybe you can only do a couple good ones. Get that bicep up by the ears, rib cage down, 3, right? So if you got a 50, 60, 70, or a heavier kettlebell, use 2 hands for your press. So you'll do your set of swings and your set of overhead press. I like to do as many good reps as I have, those little mini AMRAPs, and then you rest, so the clock's ticking. But in one set, let's say I did 10 and 10. I'll just rest until I feel like I can do another set. I like to, if you want to be competitive with yourself, set the rest to 45 seconds. If your weights are heavy, set the rest to a minute or longer, depending on what you got. So as soon as you feel like you can do quality reps, you're back at it, swinging, doing your set of 10, and you go immediately into your overhead press, whichever version that you can do. So you'll go back to back, you'll work doing as many sets as you can in 10 minutes. You'll mark out how many reps you got, how many rounds you got, and then at 10 minutes, it's over. So that little intense circuit you can do 3 times a week as an adjunct to if you're going running or you're doing body weight strength training or whatever. You can add that in. It'll make you feel really good. And then you can add time as you get better and better. As you become better conditioned to it, you can do it for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I wouldn't go longer than 20 minutes at that pace, just because depending on what else you're doing, you're gonna be fatigued. Remember, when you're really stressed, the times of extreme stress, it's not the time to go through these extremely difficult workouts. You want to get enough, just do enough damage, lift enough, do enough work to produce, sweat, get some endorphins going, get a stress response, or stimulate or the recovery from your training, and then get back to work, get it back to the eating, the sleeping, and the things that you need to do to feel good afterwards. So, depending on what weight you have available, depending on what how much you can press, your rep scheme will vary depending on what you can do, but you want to make sure that all your reps are quality. So whether you're doing sets of 1, 2, or 3, if you have a heavy kettlebell, you're doing sets of 10, 15, 20, if you have a really light kettlebell or anything in between, just make sure that you're giving yourself enough rest to do the high quality work. Start at 10 minutes, do as many reps as you can, supersetting those 2 exercises, and then work your way through. Try that. Let me know how it goes while you're bringing forth the warrior within.